Let's go back to this question again. Credit card processing, not as important. It's more about the service and the local representation. And you've been with First Data for a long time, but that's important because they have 5 servers all around the country, Nashville, Omaha, and if one of them went down, they're just on to the next. So, but what else? What else would I look for as a shop owner that I need to consider when I want to bring on credit card processing?
Well, you need someone you can trust, and the trust levels are very low. Shop owners get 5 calls a day, and they don't want to talk about credit card processing. And almost every single one, honest to God, Jimmy, they do not like their credit card processor, but they're with
Yeah.
them. You should like your credit card processor. You should have a relationship with your credit card processor. You should have someone you can pick up, because if you have to call the 800 customer service number, it's going to be put on hold, transfer you here. Oh, let me transfer you over here. And then you get someone on the line there and they're in India or what have you. And it's just a nightmare. So you need someone you can pick up the phone, that you can call them. You do need that 800 number as a backup, but yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah. So when I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, or Chandler, or Gilbert, or Pine Top, and I pick up the phone and I call to get some credit card assistance, who am I speaking to?
A lot of people call me, but we have 13 people here on 44th Street in Thomas in Phoenix, Arizona, and we've been in business for 31 years. And so I don't know all the answers, and like I got a call yesterday, someone's machine wasn't working correctly. Dean at Lane's Automotive, and I said, Dean, I know what you're saying here. Let me send you an email. I'm going to copy you in with Megan. Megan replied back that afternoon and had his machine all fixed up exactly what he wanted. And that's going to be a really pain if you have to call the 800 number. With us, it was 3 minutes on the call.
Yeah.
Had a few jokes, cracked up, and kept the relationship good. So that's what's important to us here.
Oh, that is important. That the relationship, people like to do business with people that they know, trust, and love. And it's great when they can trust you and they love you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's right.
So what are the typical fees of credit cards? Is that something I should be aware of or looking at as a shop owner? Is that something I need to pay attention to?
Yeah, the fees, and there's also a lot of bait and switch. So here's the fee we're going to give you, and then you get your statement. Maybe it's not even the first statement, second, third, and then whammo, all of a sudden you're hit with higher fees. I can think of swap clients who we signed up. I know Danny Guido, he was hesitant at first. Or wait, no, I think it was Dave Denman, doesn't have a shop anymore, but he
Yeah,
has
he
a
sold
really
it.
good, yeah, had a really great shop. And it was Kathy over there. Kathy's with Matt now, Matt Allen. So Kathy called me, and they had kind of poo-pooed it before, what we were doing for them. But then she called me, and just on the spot, like, well, your rates have doubled with Wells. Did you know this? And she looked at it. She's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, we're signing up right now. So they didn't sign up right away, but that once they found that out, and so Matt and his 2 shops. Matt's probably one of the longest clients we've had through Swap.
Matt's a great man. I've been to his shop a few times. Super good dude. Super
Yeah.
good. So rates, what are the typical rates that a
So
shop owner could be expected to be paying?
there's several structures on pricing. There's a flat rate. You might be like Square's at there. I think they're at 2.7 if you swipe a card, and then it's like 3.5 if you key it in, and they call that flat rate pricing. And then there's
Yeah.
tiered pricing. It could be 2 or 3 tier. And so you might be maybe 1.59 on the qualified cards, and 2.59 on the mid qualified cards, and 3.59 on the non-qualified cards. The problem with both of those is it's the rates way higher than we would charge you, because we're going to charge you a wholesale rate. But also, who determines if it's 1.5 or 2.5 or 3.5 or even 2.75 or 3.5 with the Square type deal? It's arbitrary, and so you have no idea. So what we do is called pass through or interchange pricing. So we pass through the wholesale cost, and then we just charge a small markup. And, that's typically maybe 0.3%. But what we're doing is we're finding we're saving clients 50%, which is unbelievable, and no one
Oh,
believes
wow.
it. It's the hardest thing in the world, but we've got the testimonials, we've got the client, the swap members who are doing it and telling us that, and plus you're getting white glove service. You're getting amazing service for half the cost. It's incredible.
Oh, that's super cool. And you're local too. You're right there. So if they have a problem, they pick up the phone. You're the one answering it. You're the one on the other end of the phone. And if you don't have the answer, you get Maggie to help you out.
Yeah, yeah. So you could call my number, and
Uh-huh.
also on my card, on my signature file, on my email, there's my assistant number. And my assistant number is, speaking of that, let me turn that off. My assistant number is answered by a team of professionals who know what they're talking about. So you're not getting
Nice.
the toss around or pass around. And so you could call that number as well.
Nice. Nice. So what is the have you ever seen and I'm trying to think of the right way to ask the question. Have you ever helped or seen or witnessed a shop that got into a credit card contract and that contract really blew up in their face?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I've seen shops that were leasing. So our equipment, also, if I think of Danny Guido, I knew he was going to come up here. He was with Wells also, and he's like, no, no, I don't want to do this. And then his machine broke. So Wells wanted $800 for equipment that we sell wholesale is $300. And so Danny came on board through that. So not only contracts, but higher priced equipment, but also there's been shops that have been leasing equipment. So it's $300 equipment. They didn't only pay 800, they're paying 30, 40 bucks a month for the next 3 to 5 years. And there's a non-cancelable lease. So you have this $300 equipment, you might pay $4,000 or $5,000 for it,
Ooh.
and I know lots of shops have been burned with that, and they've been burned in so many ways that the trust levels are so low. It really makes the honest company job really difficult.
Yeah,
It's really
that gives
difficult.
you a really long, steep uphill battle to convince the shop to, hey, we are good.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
do love us.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, those of you who are here at this event live, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and type them into the Q&A box at the very bottom. Click on the Q&A and those questions will come straight over to me and I'd be happy to ask Dan those questions for you. If you've got hard questions, Dan's ready. He's a tough guy. He's got broad shoulders. He can take it. So ask the questions. Okay, so back to my questions. What is the future of credit cards, credit card processing? And maybe that's a two-part question.
Yeah, I like to listen to Elon Musk a lot because I think he's really into the future, trying to colonize Mars. That's like, oh, really? No way, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, the stuff he's done already, it's hard to doubt him. But he's talking about getting a chip in your head. So I don't know if that might be the future. Yeah, he's got a company called Neuralink. I don't know if you know that. It's a chip you put in your brain to help with like paralysis and things like that. And those are already working, but eventually it'll work with your brain and apparently. But so the future, it's hard to say, but I think it's going to go with AI. It'll go more and more automated. I think the things we have now that are future already, like the tap to pay,
Yeah, that's
um,
cool.
it's cool, but for security and for chargeback reasons, pretty much I like to get that card in my hot little hand where I can
Mm,
examine the card, maybe even ask for ID. And especially you shop owners, you're doing two, three, four, $5,000 jobs, and the guy's just tapping. How do you know whose card it is? And people think it's secure. Oh, he tapped it. It's secure. We have an online payment form, and people think that's secure too. Well, that's even worse. At least when they tap, you can see the person. But if
mm.
they're paying you online, you never even see the person. And there's all kinds of schemes and so forth. But the future, so tap's really a future thing. It's now, right? But I don't know if it helps or hurts. I mean, it helps the consumer. It's easy for you, Jimmy. You feel good. Yeah, I just tapped it. I didn't have to do anything. But I work for the shops. I'm protecting the shops. If you get chargebacks, you're not going to want me as a credit card processor anymore. So I'm really motivated to help the shop owner. And I'm an agent too. So we don't do the processing. We're a sales agent. We do the service and repair and setup and so forth. And so we're really versus a broker or some other type where it's just their incentive is to put you into another shop. Well, let's put you to another credit card processor so I can make more commissions and not really take care of your problems. But we just represent this at First Data, and we represent you as the client. Um, but the thing I do like in the future and what is now is like Apple Pay. So
Yeah.
there you have to use your face or your thumbprint. To me, that's very secure, more secure than a signature because you can't forge that. You can't forge your face ID or your thumbprint.
Right.
That's something that's very unique to you. So I think those are very good. Um, but
So Apple Pay is good. Well, let's go back to this concept here. You were talking about the chargebacks. So from least secure to most secure, least secure being a online swipe or an online typed number, probably the least secure. Second to that might be a swipe in the garage. Third to that would be putting the chip into the machine. Do I understand those correct, or is there different levels there?
yeah, no, to me, the most secure would be a Google, Apple Pay, something with your device where it authenticates you. Because the main thing is people can get credit card information,
Yeah.
whether you lose your wallet or not,
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
we
get
just went through it. We just went through it. $4, 5, $6,000 just whoosh, gone.
right. So what the most important thing is to authenticate the card holder. So the phone really does that if they have to put their face ID or thumbprint ID. That's
Okay.
the best I've ever seen so far, right? Short of a quart of blood or something like that, or a pint of blood. Quart's a little much, but
I
um,
don't know many shops that can take that quart of blood.
yeah, some of the people feel like they maybe gave a quart of blood. I know some of these repairs are getting up there nowadays, but yeah, then the least secure would be if you're taking the phone over the
Yeah.
phone or an online form is really about the same thing. So
Okay.
you don't see the person if you don't know them. So we do have an online payment form. It's included, and shops love it. But I always am always telling them, make sure you know and trust these people
Mm,
because they will rip you off. And I'm super glad that shops do not get a lot of chargebacks, but when you do, it's really painful. It's usually not
yeah.
the oil change that they're ripping you off for. You're right.
No, no, it's the
Yeah.
full engine or the transmission.
So
Yeah.
there's one where it was an old car electrical problem.
Oh,
Right.
no.
That's the worst, right?
That's a
Because
nightmare.
it's
Yeah. The
not going to be a one
diagnostic on
time.
that is through the roof.
It's not going to be a one-time deal. I mean, if you're lucky, you strike lightning. But generally, it's going to be something you fix this, and then you're going to come back. And so shop owners are the ones I deal with are very honest, and they tell that to the client. But you need it in writing. You need it in
Yes.
writing. So in this example, it was two or three times. The car wasn't quite fixed yet, and the chargebacks came in. There
Oh,
was no signatures. There was nothing in writing. And what I'd suggest is on your work order to put in that this is somewhat exploratory. It may take several visits to fix your car. Have them sign that
yeah.
because if they charge back and the customers are buyers are liars, right? I mean, they'll make stuff up and so you need to have it in writing, and that means you need to see the person and you need to explain about if there's something that's not a straight up uh, thing like that. You need to just get it all documented and in writing. They don't really take phone conversations; those won't hold up for chargebacks, and various other evidence that it doesn't get admitted. So you need
Dang,
to get
yeah.
everything
Well, and if it goes to court, it's a business against the little old lady or the little old man, and shame on you, big corporation, for trying to take them to court. Man, we fixed their car, or we just want to get paid for it. So I
right.
understand.
And
So
the
what?
court's way down the road. This is a
Yeah,
chargeback procedure. So there's a
right.
process for chargebacks, which you should win every one if you're
If you
doing it
do it
right.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's where you're
But
training the shops
but
so that
I
they
see
do it right.
merchants, yeah, I see merchants all over. You could sign Donald Duck and they wouldn't notice, right? I mean, right? So they
Yeah.
don't inspect the card. They don't look at you, even expect your signature. And, mostly you're going to be okay. But eventually someone's going to get you. So it's got to be
Mm.
business-like.
Yeah. Yeah. So document, document, document. All right. What about the safety and security of text to pay?
Yeah, text to pay. So people think it's secure. So there was another shop. They were selling refrigerant, and it's very expensive now. Very, very
Yeah.
expensive. So it's always the same scheme. Okay, Jimmy, I'm calling you over the phone. I need some Freon. I need $10,000 worth of Freon, and I'm going to have Johnny pick it up because you never see the card holder. It's the same scheme. Now Johnny's going to come pick it up. And unfortunately, these clients, they thought that the payment form was secure. Just by virtue of it being over the internet, it's secure. Well, when they talk about security, it just means that the card holder data will not be stolen.
Mm,
But we have no one has any idea who's putting the data in because we can't see them. No one can see them.
mm,
Uh, and so if you're going to do orders like that, make them come in. Don't, and especially a third party picking it up. That's a scheme that I've heard time and time again. So you got to be very careful. This client actually more than one order they ended up losing
oh,
to
geez.
this thief, really, just a crook. That
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, he found the thief found a willing source.
yeah,
Unfortunately, that's too bad.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
too bad. How long would it take for a shop to go from, "Hello, Dan, my name is Jimmy. I'd like to get set up with a credit card machine with your company." How long from then until I can swipe the first card?
Well, we do everything over the phone. So we can take
Okay.
your application over the phone, and then we'll send you an email, and we'll go through that app with you step by step, all the details, show you everything. And then once you click agree, it could instantly board, which would be within minutes right now. Or if it went to underwriting, it would take a couple days. Generally, shops, you're not selling on the internet, you're not doing anything really
Yeah.
risky. It's very, very safe business for us as a processor. So those generally auto board within an hour or two. And at that point, we also provide you a gateway where you can key everything in through a portal. We have an amazing portal with reporting, you name it. And that's live right then. You could take cards and key them into your portal right now. Other than that, if you have equipment that we could reprogram that right now. But generally, if we have to get you equipment, it's going to take about a week to turn that around.
Okay. So the computer processing could happen within minutes to a couple of days, and machines or units that need to be at the property might take a week or more.
Yeah, if we need to get new equipment, we have to order that and it'd be shipped, drop shipped right to the shop.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's good. Do you find that shops that get set up with you, do you see a hockey stick there in the number of tickets that they process? Like when they first start with you, it's not as many, but then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this shop has really taken off. They're processing a lot of credit cards.
Yeah, no, as if you're not taking cards, yeah, you would have a definitely an increase in just by taking credit card, especially now. People are calling me asking for lending sources. Unfortunately, we don't do any, we can't provide loans.
Mm,
We don't do that. But I think was it some synchronicity or something like that? There's some products where they can get outside funding. So money's tight. So the credit cards is essential to accept those now.
nice. Nice. So what advice do you have for shops out there getting started, or maybe they're long in the tooth? How do they protect themselves? How do they keep themselves safe?
Yeah. So again, being careful, documenting things. But as far as from companies like us,
Yeah.
I'm honest to God, Jimmy, I say, don't listen to anyone because they keep calling me and saying, "Hey, Dan, they're saying this, they're saying that." They're if a credit card vendor, I'm laughing because it sounds so self-serving, but if a credit card shop is talking to you, pretty much don't believe anything they say. So,
Hmm.
yes, they'll call in saying they're first data, they're your processor, and making up all kinds of stories. And hey, you can make you gosh, who just called me from Tucson, and Jackie down in Tucson called me, and yeah, they said, Dan, I've got $800. They're trying to credit me $800, and they say they're from my company, right? And I'm like, no, Jackie, this is not true. I'm gonna have Megan check it out just to make sure. And so I did. I
Wow.
emailed her, copied Megan, and Megan gets back with a really great email explaining, nope, Jackie, there's nothing going on there. And I tell them, just don't listen to him, don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's not real. It's not real. So you have quite a few reviews, quite a few satisfied customers, quite a few good ratings and standings with the BBB, with your clients. Is that something you want to show here or?
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Thanks for asking. Let me bring something up here. So this actually is a little presentation. I think F5 or F6. F6. All right, how do I make this bigger? There we go. Oh, and I turned it off. So anyway, yeah. So I started in the 1990 in the credit card processing industry as a sales rep. And back in the days of the dinosaurs and the knuckle buster, we called this affectionately the imprinter.
Yeah, the
And
triplicate.
yeah, so back then, you may not know it, but you would imprint the card
Oh yeah.
and you'd turn it into your bank like a check or
Yeah.
cash. You
Yeah.
check in the same batch, you just turn it in. And so we showed where you could have an electronic machine. We just go door to door and say, hey, here's an electronic machine. Eliminate that knuckle buster. You can swipe, it'll print a ticket for you, and it'll also authorize everything. So cards weren't always authorized either. You had to call in for an authorization or look through this little like penny saver book with thousands, all the credit cards numbers were printed in there. It was ridiculous. No one could look it up. I mean, you can imagine trying to find a credit card in a printing of just credit card numbers. So this would automatically authorize it, electronically wire it to your bank. You wouldn't have to do a deposit with that. And it was about half the price
Oh
and
wow.
to turn it into your bank. So that was great. But the problem was the offshore call centers. I signed up my friends and family members, and the auto attendant, a guy trying to call in and get some help, you can't get help, right? And
Right.
and so I was afraid to talk to some of my friends and so forth. So in '92, I decided to found CardConnect Paradise, and to take care of these customer service issues. So this is a CardConnect Paradise. These folks here, and our mission is really just to provide amazing service and and which you just don't have here. And then that's led to these reviews. Oops, let me getting a little anxious here. So we're 5-star, just one complaint in the last 3 years with the BBB. Others have hundreds or thousands of complaints. Going up to PayPal over almost 26,000 complaints.
Oh
You
goodness.
name it, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, PNC. You've heard of all these, 1-star ratings, and
Oh
uh,
geez.
yeah, yeah. So that's been pretty bad, but good for us. And
Yeah,
then we represent,
congratulations. That's awesome.
yeah, and so we represent First Data, which is bought by Fiserv now. And again, it's got we talked about the centers they have, the number of transactions they process, uh, pretty much 100% uptime, and yeah, so
12,000 transactions per second.
yeah, yeah,
Holy smokes, that's a lot.
right.
That's
It
pretty
is.
good.
It's amazing. It's amazing it all works. It's a mind
Yeah.
blower.
And so you're based in Phoenix, Arizona. You're processing in Phoenix, Arizona. Your people are in Phoenix, Arizona. Are you limited to operating only in Arizona?
No, no, we're not. We're actually we operate nationwide, and we really don't go see clients very often, because it's so much quicker and easier. I can handle 10 times the amount of clients on the phone like this,
Yeah,
and there's nothing, rocket science that we need to be out there. So it's just a lot more efficient for us. And yeah,
cool. Do you have some of those testimonials of shops that
yeah. Let me
have,
show you that. Let's see
yeah,
here. Yeah, this is a Southwest Auto Professionals page. And 50%
we're
savings on
looking at
credit
your
card processing,
we're looking at
dedicated team.
your PowerPoint presentation at the
Oh,
moment.
is it still PowerPoint? Okay.
Uh-huh. You'll want to X out of that probably.
I probably have to stop this and share the whole screen, right?
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Switch screens.
Here we go. Let's try this one. Okay. See that Southwest Auto Professionals now?
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
we do have a page, we're CardConnect Paradise. We have this page on our website, and we've been doing this, doing swap for like 10 or 12 years now. But literally 50% savings on credit card processing. We have a dedicated team of helpful agents. You could text or email invoices, a pay now button for your website. You can manage all locations from our great web portal. That's all included. Mobile
Super
phone
awesome.
processing. So if everything went down, if your power, your internet, if your phone still works, you can still take cards because you can process through your card. 100% satisfaction guarantee,
Wow.
cancel anytime. And those we already looked through this, but so like Jimmy O'Leary here, absolutely the best service and credit card processing I've seen. Dave Charest, this is very common what Dave says here at D&D down in Tucson. I was skeptical at first. I read all the promises of lower rates. CardConnect's come through with what they said they do. They've reduced my credit card fees by over 50%, and that puts more money in my pocket.
Oh,
People don't believe
hallelujah.
it. They don't
Yeah, no,
believe
they
it.
don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
Matt Allen, Dave Riccio. Uh,
Dude,
so
I love
there's
those
lots
guys.
lots
Those are
more.
some awesome dudes there. And you were talking to even Danny Guido gave you props.
Yes, yeah, Dan
He
Guido.
doesn't pass out compliments.
Yeah, right, right. We
I
were on
love
Beach
Danny. He's
Nation
awesome, dude.
with Frank. I was on Rich
Oh, Frank's a
video
good dude
program.
too. Yeah. You go
Yeah,
see him in where's he? He's not in Chandler. Desert Car Care.
yeah. He's now in North Phoenix.
North Phoenix. Yeah. Scottsdale.
Yeah, right.
Right? Yeah.
Is it Scott? He might be Phoenix or Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Scottsdale. He's up like Carefree Highway.
Super
So
good dude.
yeah, I heard he's doing really great too.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Well, this is awesome. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate the time. Appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate you servicing the industry, helping keep shop owners on top of their game, helping keeping them safe, help educate them so they know the right ways of taking credit cards and protecting themselves. Document, document, document. Dude, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
you bet. No, I appreciate you, and it's my passion. I've been doing this over 31 years, and I still love it. It's just so great to help people. To really help them and to build those relationships. And it's the most important thing to us here.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for joining us for our Taco Tuesday for training. Time to get out there and hit those weights again or hit the road. I've been doing a lot of running here recently, and I'm pretty sore.
Okay. Well, no pain, no gain, right?
No pain, no gain. Yeah. And I am a very wicked personal trainer. I am kicking my butt.
Nice. Awesome.
I'll see you in Phoenix, July 12 through the 14. You'll be there, Dan?
We will. Yep.
Nice. Very cool. I'll see you then. Thank you very much.